This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Chesterfield Emergency Service.
They're very good hands here.
When sudden tragedy finds us isolated from the life-saving care we need, we are reminded of both the frailties and the strengths which human beings possess. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories of heroes who inspire us to reach out to others on Rescue 911. We begin on January 12th, 1990, during the height of ski season at the popular Copper Mountain Resort in Colorado.
The majority of these people are on vacation. They're trying to pack as much fun as they can possibly pack into 5 days, 3 days, 1 week, whatever. And they're going to bolt right to the mountains. And they're not going to think about taking care of themselves or adjusting to altitude. And they get caught.
Richard Coberly and his friend had driven all night so they could be on the slopes first thing in the morning.
Need to be able to grab some air somewhere.
Richard let his less experienced friend, 47-year-old Sam Allen, set the pace.
He hadn't skied in a year, and this was his first day on the slopes.
Spray me again, you're dead.
On that run, he took a couple of tumbles and got winded a little bit, which wasn't all that unusual a thing to have happen on a first day skier from a lower altitude who's been up all night.
Oh, man. Get tired. His legs bug me. Whoa! Yeah.
Although Sam was breathing hard, he got in line with Richard for another run. They were paired up for the 12-minute chairlift ride with Carl Reddick and his brother.
We overhear one person asking his friend if he's feeling all right. And he responds, yeah, he's feeling fine. So we go ahead and get on the chair and start on the way up.
I've never ridden this chair before.
Myself, Ron, and Richard are talking about skiing and that. And so get about halfway, maybe a little bit farther than halfway up. Richard turns and asks Sam again if he's feeling all right.
Something don't feel right.
Here, let me have the pole. Unzip your jacket. Get some air. Sam began to fidget and expressed problems with his breathing and became slightly disoriented. I felt like something was definitely wrong. I wasn't sure exactly what, but he just never, acted like that before.
Something's not right.
He seemed to be getting progressively worse.
Is that much cleanup?
Both Carl and Ron Reddick had had some training in emergency medicine.
We thought the altitude was definitely getting to him, and we tried to calm him down. You're going to be all right, Sam. Just take it easy, take deep breaths. And that didn't work.
I think he just needs to take it a little easy up the top there and catch his breath.
What's going on? Oh, man. Breathing? It's falling out of the chair.
I'm trying to reach across behind the back of him. I could just barely get out of Sam's carotid artery, and didn't feel anything.
You reach his neck?
I didn't say anything about me thinking that he was having a heart attack because I didn't want to worry Richard and have Richard let him go.
We can barely hold him in here.
My biggest concern was how far we were from the top of the mountain. I thought he could get out of it if we could just get help to him.
Yeah, I can't get a pulse or anything. We need some help.
There's no way we could have done CPR in the chair at all. So there wasn't anything we could do at that point in time.
Stop the lift on top! His skis won't clear!
They tried to get the attention of the people in front of them so the lift operator could be warned.
Did you hear what he said?
From the chair behind, ski patroller Andy Brown happened to hear their cries for help.
What's the problem?
The distance between the chairs is sufficient. I couldn't really communicate with them that well, but there appeared to be a gentleman in the chair in front of me that was unconscious. I radioed to the patrol headquarters so that we could get some assistance to the top of the chair.
And request some O2.
At the summit headquarters, ski patrol members got Andy's call for help and thought it was just another case of altitude sickness.
Sam's skis were hanging down, and if he would have come up against that ridge that they've got at the top of the chairlift, it would have just snapped his back.
Guys, hurt back here! Get him down. His skis up. Get the bar up. Get the bar up, guys. Bar up.
More than 4 minutes had passed since Sam's collapse before they were finally able to get him off the chairlift and start treating him.
Move the chair ahead.
The Reddick brothers immediately began doing CPR.
All right, helpful. Yeah, I'll go get on the phone.
The ski patrol behind us yelled at us, and I guess when he saw that we started CPR, he called in that there was a cardiac arrest up at the top of the lift.
Kevin will be off the lift in 20 seconds. You guys head over to the flyer.
Paramedic Kevin Kelble also happened to be on ski patrol that day.
I was on the other side of the mountain when the call came in and requested that the Code 2 pack, which is all of our advanced cardiac life support equipment, be ready for me to take over there. We've had cardiac arrests that have either happened on the chair or happened right after getting off the chair. And unfortunately, these people were never successfully resuscitated.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When we continue,
I really had resigned myself to the fact that he was dead, that there was not going to be any coming back for him.
Okay, bag it easy.
it had been more than 5 minutes since 47-year-old Sam Allen had suffered a heart attack on a ski lift. From the chair behind him, ski patroller Andy Brown had radioed for help, but they were 11,000 feet up the mountain without the medical equipment needed to save the victim's life.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Lee Kirch, another ski patrol, arrived on the scene and started with CPR, and I had the lift operator move the chair forward so that I could help Lee.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you to help, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take over compression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good error. Give me the first pack. You lick him up and I'll see you.
His eyes were open, but unresponsive. He's very gray, pale, ashen look. I mean, it's a look of death.
Clear the chest, please. Clear it. Fire.
He's only been down for 10 minutes.
Okay, he's flatline. CPR, please. CPR.
He's not showing it on the monitor right now, but he's still a patient that there's a chance. And as long as there's a chance, we're going to work it.
Grab some epi out of the pack, please, Lee.
Dr. Mark Hallett had been monitoring the radio calls from the medical clinic at the base of the mountain.
The call came that they wanted Dr. Armour or myself up there because things didn't look good.
4, 5. 1. Okay, epi's in.
It's amazing how it tears at you because this is a person you've only known 20 minutes, you know, and to have that kind of feelings, you know, knowing that, you know, he might not make it. It's rough.
I think I got there about 20 to 25 minutes after he had first had his arrest. His heart did all kinds of things, you know, from fast rhythms to slow rhythms to no rhythms. Some of those rhythms he had a blood pressure, other rhythms he didn't.
Okay, I'm charging here.
Although we couldn't get a good blood pressure in his arm, he had strong pulses in his neck. So I made the decision that we better try and get him down the mountain.
Nice pulses.
Yeah, I still got a good femoral. We're looking good. Okay. Are we ready to move here, guys?
They knew the trip would take more than 10 minutes.
He did have a pulse, and his heart was beating fine, but he still was not breathing on his own. We need to now get to definitive care. But if I make the move and make the commitment to the toboggan, I'm making a commitment to a patient that I can no longer do advanced life support on.
With Sam in one toboggan and another toboggan strapped to it to carry the emergency workers, they began the 2,500-foot descent to the mountain's medical clinic.
I skied down beside the sled. I felt like if he ever did regain consciousness, if there was a familiar voice there, that it might be of some benefit. I don't know if that was correct or not, but I had nowhere else to go.
Okay, let's go. Keep working them.
We were taking it pretty easy because those guys were needing to do some work back there.
I need the O. You're going over bumps and moguls. The snow's coming in your face. You're trying to monitor your patient. Unfortunately, electrically, the monitor picks up that same vibration. So it's hard to see his rhythm and pulses.
Get ready to whip it. All right. Looking good so far. I still got him good.
Okay.
Bag it easy.
Here we go. Work him up. I started seeing him starting to move his arms. And Donnie noticed it also. And Donnie actually said, you know, I'm starting to get occasionally a spontaneous breath. At this stage, he probably regained enough of his subconscious to get his gag reflex back, which is unfortunate for us because we have a tube down his throat.
You're all right, Mike.
Even though our patient was never conscious, we're in an arm wrestling battle.
He's right out over my knee. Okay, I got him. Wait a minute, strap him. Keep him down.
He slowly started slowing down on us.
Pulse, Donnie.
Yeah, he's definitely flat.
Hit it hard,
We lost him. We lost him. He's flat.
Hey, punch it. We're losing him. We're almost down. Let's get almost at the bottom. We can't do anything for him now. Just punch it.
We had lost him. He was back into VTAC, and we didn't have pulses anymore.
I really had resigned myself to the fact that he was dead, that there was not going to be any coming back for him.
I'm not seeing anything on the monitor, guys. Check his pulses, Donnie. I can't find him.
I just couldn't believe how much effort and care they were putting into it, because in my uneducated opinion, I just couldn't imagine how they were going to get him back.
Stop.
Yeah,
Take you over the corner.
back over there.
Okay.
He was DTAC shocked into asystole. He's got atropine, epinephrine.
From the time that he had his arrest to the time we got to the clinic was about 40 minutes.
3, 4. Everyone clear. And fire.
You just never know when the person you're trying to save is going to be one of that 10% who make it. So you just have to push as hard as you can until it becomes unreasonable to go on.
Fire. Okay.
Give it time, give it time.
We getting anything?
I'm seeing something.
We got an air complex. We got
a pulse of that?
We've got a pulse here. What was the ETA on flights? On the way.
They're probably 20 minutes now, 25 minutes.
A Flight for Life helicopter arrived to transport Sam to a hospital in Denver. Nurse Lori Aston headed up the medical team on board.
I really thought we would be canceled on the way up. Anybody that arrested on a chairlift and to go through the time span of getting off the chair, down the mountain to the clinic, it just didn't sound like a very good prognosis.
Feet first, let's line up the wheels.
Wheels and tracks. All right, in the tracks on this side.
Okay, watch my tubing.
Got your tubes.
More than an hour and a half after Sam Allen suffered a heart attack, the chopper took off for St. Anthony's Medical Center. Dr. John Farrell was on call that day.
My initial role was to try to stabilize his rhythm and blood pressure and give his brain a chance to recover. And then I called Mrs. Allen to let her know what was going on. I told her that he was in critical condition, and I did not know whether he would survive or not, and I also did not know whether his brain function would return to normal or not.
Carolyn Allen flew to Denver, not knowing if her husband would still be living when she arrived.
You're not going to be able to talk to him.
When I first saw him, my first thought was, I'm just so glad that you're alive. I told him I was here. I didn't know whether he could hear or not. I really didn't care. I was just going to let him know that I was there.
When Sam finally regained consciousness, still unable to speak, he wrote his first words to Carolyn on a piece of paper.
He just said, I'm not going to make it. That's all he said. And I said, oh, yes, you are. I said, you're not going to leave me here, and I think something special's been planned for you.
Sam underwent surgery to remove a blockage in his right coronary artery. 2 weeks later, he was released from the hospital with no sign of brain damage. By the next ski season, Sam Allen was back on the slopes. This time, his wife Carolyn joined him.
I'll catch up with you.
Good? He's always has a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of dreams. He'd love to ski, and this has not put any fear in him.
I think my life has not changed so much that I become paranoid about things that I shouldn't do. I feel really just as healthy as I did before this happened.
He is a fighter. He's the kind of person who knows pretty much what he wants to do and tries to go out and do it. But the real hero is the ski patrol, because they did their job. They did it flawlessly, and they did it quickly and successfully.
I wish I could remember that. How are you? Andy Brown. That's right. Kevin, how are you, Kevin?
I am very much amazed that he walked out of the hospital.
I owe a lot of things to a lot of people. Good to see you. Looking good.
What saved this guy, in my mind, was the guys that were doing CPR before we got there with all the fancy equipment.
A year ago, January the 12th. The date, I know. January 12th. There's one thing he can remember.
I just want to know if he's mellowed out any since
He's been good.
we gave him his lecture.
Everybody had a part in this. And what was such a miracle is that everything was placed in such a timely manner.
And I thank God for putting all of this cohesiveness of the ski patrol, all the people, they were all there when they needed to be there. The teamwork is incredible, and they're just great people. They're super people.
Next.
The first thought that I had was that the kids could be in the house. The whole house was ablaze, and when I could hear them screaming.
In the small town of Blowing Rock, North Carolina, volunteer rescue workers have a program that tries to prepare children for possible emergencies. But no one knows how they'll do when put to the test by the real thing. On a cold night 2 weeks before Christmas in 1990, 12-year-old Crystal Darby was babysitting her 4 younger brothers and sisters, while her mother and father were working on a new home just down the road.
My brother and sisters were in their bed, and my little brother, 2-year-old, he was sitting beside me watching TV with me. And then I smelled smoke, and I tried to follow where it was coming from, and it seemed like it was coming from the kitchen. I saw something, but it was just a little bit of smoke, and I just thought it was a blown fuse. So I went back and sat down to watch TV some more. And then I smelled a little bit more smoke, and I thought I better go check this over. I looked, and it was coming out of the cracks of the wall, out of the corners of my dad's bedroom right beside the kitchen. I thought it was something with the cords, the electrical cords. Well, I just walked over to my dad's room, and I saw smoke coming out from under the door. I only looked in there for like 2 seconds and closed it back up, but the door was hot. I shouldn't have opened the door. And then it was dead, the TV. And so I thought maybe I should call my mom. It wouldn't work. I thought, oh my gosh, the TV's dead, the phone's dead.
James!
There was something bad wrong.
James! Wake up! James!
I tried to wake up my brother first.
Oh.
He wouldn't wake up.
Got to. Guys, wake up.
My sisters woke up immediately.
Wake up, there's a fire. James!
I just said, I think there could be a fire and you need to help me wake up James, okay? Come on, let's go.
Help me. Wake up. Come on, wake up. What's wrong? It's a fire. Get out.
By then, the house was filled with smoke.
Go, Alicia, go. Come on out, Alicia.
I was nervous, shaky.
Come on, we gotta get out.
I was just trying to be brave and not panic. I learned in school that if you're panicky, it's just going to take longer.
My sister, she said stay in the truck. I saw a lot of smoke and it made me feel like crying.
I tried to keep a close eye on him. But my brother, James, he ran. I said, James, come on out. Dad isn't here.
James!
I heard a thump.
Come back, James!
I didn't go in after him. I wouldn't take the risk, but I didn't know if he would come out or not.
James! James! James, what's that? James!
When he came back out, I said, James, don't ever do anything like that to me again. It was scary.
I really loved that house. I felt a little scared it was going to catch on fire.
When I saw the house catch on fire, I told them to stay in the truck, not get out unless something very bad happens. And then I ran down the quickest way to my other house. I could still hear them yelling at me not to go. I said, Mom, the house is on fire. Go get my brothers and sisters. Do everything you can. And she said, call 911.
Blowing Rock 911.
The first thought that I had was that the kids could be in the house.
Alicia, James! Joey!
I didn't see the kids.
The 4 children were no longer in the truck.
The whole house was ablaze, and when I could hear them screaming, I thought they may be inside burning and screaming.
Attention, Blowing Rock firemen.
The Blowing Rock Fire Department was immediately dispatched to the scene.
I just gathered them all up, and I've never been so glad to see their little faces as I was that night. I was just thinking what would have happened if she had come and got me first. Because when I got up there wouldn't have been any way to get them out.
there was fire throughout the whole house. I mean, it was ventilated out every window, through the roof. Nobody could have survived it.
Only 4 months earlier, firefighter Steve Sudrith had taught fire safety tips to Crystal's 5th grade class.
There's no question that if Crystal had not reacted properly, we would have had 4 fatalities. Those children would have died.
Every year in the small town of Blowing Rock, firefighters volunteer their time to teach fire safety to school children.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's that time of year again. It's Fire Prevention Week, and I wanted to see what kind of progress we've made so far. How many of you have...
Firefighters Steve Sudrith and Angela Grider had both helped to put out the fire at Crystal's house.
I love working with the kids, something I'm good at. If I thought if I could get through to one person, one child, that was worth it.
Why should we sleep with the doors closed in our bedrooms? Yes, ma'am.
Because of the smoke. The smoke, that's right. That smoke is what kills. They should know their exits, how to crawl out of the bed, stay low, and crawl on the floors because there's the poisonous gases.
Smoke is up high and the fresh air is down low.
You should feel the door. If it's hot, don't leave that way.
Does everyone have a meeting place?
And get out quickly, have a meeting place, and don't go back into the house. Let the firefighters do that because chances are you would be another victim that they would have to rescue.
The Chambers family recently got a chance to visit their local fire station.
Okay, pull that chain up there just a little bit. Crystal had remembered what she'd learned, and she was able to save their lives. Squeeze the button right there. Go ahead. You do it.
I think about how my little boy wouldn't sleep in pajamas for a couple of weeks afterwards because he wanted to sleep in his clothes because he was afraid the house would burn down. And I just remember how thankful I felt that my kids were okay.
Break the old ladder up on top of it?
I know that teaching them to do the right things in situations like that before they happen is what saves their lives.
Right here, we've got the lights on.
I should have gotten them to crawl out of the house, and I should have crawled myself too. That's what they taught us to do. But I'm just thankful that we made it out alive.
When I saw those children, it was just astonishing to know that those 4 lives had been saved because of something we had spent, volunteer time on, knowing that we might have been helpful in that. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah. You'll grow into it.
She got us out of the burning house. If she didn't, we would have been almost burned up. I really loved my sister.
Now you're ready to go.
First
Next.
child. No, it's my second.
My real concern was she's bled out a lot more than I thought, and that we were going to lose her.
Ma'am?
The 1990 holiday season was especially joyful for Scott and Karen Hoyt of Austin, Texas. They were looking forward to the birth of their second child. Scott had one last tour to make with his country western band before their baby was due. So Karen was home alone with her 4.5-year-old daughter, Erica, over Christmas weekend.
We were getting close. It was down near about the last month or so. And we went to the doctor, and everything seemed to be real fine. And it looked like if we could make it another couple of weeks, we were out of the woods. So I left town feeling pretty confident, not too worried about it. Left her, the phone numbers where I would be, the hotel and the clubs and stuff.
Oh. Oh, no. Erica! Erica, bring me the phone!
Mommy said, oh my gosh, and I ran in the bathroom to see what was happening, and there was blood in the toilet. What's all that blood?
Oh, honey, I don't know.
I was real scared.
We had some friends that said, well, look, we got a couple of people, the people across the street and a couple of Karen's friends. Here's my number. I'm always there. You know, if something happens, call me. I'll come take you to the hospital. Nobody was home. It's like, a holiday weekend. A lot of people had gone out of town for Christmas, visiting family. Nobody was there.
Emergency ambulance.
I need an ambulance.
Okay, where are you, ma'am?
1-2.
At 10:34 a.m., a call came into Austin Travis County 911.
I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm just gushing blood everywhere, and I can't find anybody to take me to the hospital.
Okay.
EMT Lori Cash took over the call.
Okay, ma'am. Uh-huh.
You've had prenatal care?
Yes.
Okay.
I just went to the doctor yesterday.
Okay.
I mean, it's just gushing out like as if my water broke, but it's just blood.
Okay. Listen to me, okay? I've got the ambulance on the way. Are you having any contractions?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Okay. And how long ago did the bleeding start?
Ma'am?
When did the bleeding start?
Just about 3 minutes ago. I've just been trying to call my neighbors. I can't get anybody at home.
Okay. I want you to be reassured that the ambulance has already been started.
Right.
Okay, and this is a house.
Right.
Okay, I want you to be assured they've been started.
Okay.
Karen had been diagnosed with a high-risk pregnancy condition called placenta previa. If the placenta ruptured, she could bleed to death in less than 30 minutes without proper medical care.
Is this your first child?
No, it's my second. I have a 4.5 home with me right now.
Okay. When your water broke with your other child, is this similar but it's bloody?
It's similar, but it's just pure blood.
Okay. And there was no expected complications or anything?
Well, starting out, I had complete placenta previa. But my doctor thought that it had moved, and I've had no complications. He was going to do another sonogram next week. I'm due January the 28th.
When she told us that she has a history of placenta previa and the way she was hemorrhaging, in my heart, I didn't feel the baby was going to make it.
And does it feel like you need to use the restroom?
When the placenta ruptures, it cuts off the baby's supply of oxygen. Without oxygen, a baby has only minutes to live.
I'm a little girl.
With your child, okay. Do you feel weak or nauseated? Or
I feel a little bit weak with all this blood coming out of me. Okay. I don't feel nauseated.
Okay. And can you tell if your skin color is normal?
Normal.
Okay. And do you feel like anything's bulging out? Or is it just sitting? Yeah. You know how when you were going to have your first baby, how when the head was trying to come out, you could feel that bulging?
No, I don't feel that.
Okay. What I want you to do is stay on the phone with me. You are sitting down?
I was sitting on the toilet.
Okay. I want you to get off the toilet, okay? And either sit in the bathtub.
I'm just in a half bath down here.
Okay. Do you have a portable phone?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to take the phone and go into the bathtub or into the best bet would be into a bathroom floor and sit on some towels, okay? The mess can be cleaned up later, but what we
towels?
Yeah, we don't want you on the commode because if your baby's born, then it goes into the water.
Okay. Oh, blood's gonna get all over the carpet.
Okay, if you want, you can just sit down in the floor where you're at now.
Go upstairs and get Mommy a bunch of towels.
Okay, it would be best if you can
feel real weak.
Yeah, just why don't you go ahead and sit down in the bathroom where you're at, but get off the commode.
Erica, just get me some towels. In the bathroom, baby. I think I'm fixing to faint.
Okay, that's why I want to stay on the phone.
But first she was real coherent, real clear, and then she started fading, and she started sounding real weak and faint and real slurred speech and real disoriented. My real concern was she's bled out a lot more than I'd thought, and that we were going to lose her.
When we continue.
I thought that Mom was going to die.
Then I need some help to help your mommy, okay?
Karen Hoyt was 8 months pregnant when she suddenly started hemorrhaging. While on the line with 911 dispatcher Lori Cash, Karen began losing consciousness. The only person home to help was her 4.5-year-old daughter, Erica.
Does your little girl talk on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to get her to sit by you, okay?
Sit by Mommy.
Ma'am?
Are they going to be almost here?
Yeah, they're responding, okay? And the fire department's responding too. Okay? What what I want you to do is the little girl sitting by you? Mm-hmm. Okay. I want you to tell her that you're okay. But if for some reason Mommy can't talk on the phone anymore, for her to pick it up and talk to me.
Okay, if Mom can't talk on the phone anymore, you need to talk on the phone, Erica.
My panic about it was that she was there and her 4-and-a-half-year-old was there with her. And for a 4-and-a-half-year-old to see that was really bothering me, but we needed her help. She could tell me if Mom was making noises, if Mom was talking, if Mom was moving. She was my link to watching Mom. She was my eyes.
Ma'am? Hello?
I'll hold it for you. Come.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just feel funny.
Okay. Put your daughter on the phone and you lay down. Okay, ma'am, where's your husband at?
He's out of town.
Okay. Put your daughter on the phone. Tell her to talk to me on the phone.
On the phone?
Yes. Put her on the phone so I can talk to her.
Hello.
Erica? Hi, this is the ambulance, okay? I want you to be a big girl and help me a bunch here, okay? Okay, hon, listen to me. Mommy's gonna be fine, okay? I know you are, hon, but Mommy's gonna be just fine.
All I could picture was her little face, and just the little voice behind it was just hysterical and nervous and upset. I think what I could do at this point was reassure that Mom was going to be okay on her level. Talk to her as a mom, as you talk to your child.
I want you to be a... Okay, that blood can be cleaned up, hon, but it's going to be all right, okay?
But my mom is having a baby.
I know. You're going to have a brother or a sister, huh? Okay, that's why I'm sending somebody to help your mommy have that baby.
I was just so afraid Erica would not leave Mom's side to let us in, that I really was trying to make sure Erica didn't see any fear in my voice.
I know you're scared, but everything's going to be just fine.
Mother's phone number?
Yes.
Is area code 409-983.
I really felt that it was just her last gasp. That was her last words. Let my mom know, and these are her numbers. Because she was just as coherent and clear as when she dialed 911. When she went immediately back unconscious, I thought she was dead.
Within 8 minutes of the call, the first rescue workers arrived, including firefighter EMT Monty Strange.
When we first pulled up on the scene, the daughter, the 4-year-old, was standing at the doorway with the door open for us. We walked into the house, and Mrs. Hoyt was laying on the floor. In the hallway, there was quite a bit of blood. After you get the oxygen set up, go ahead and take care of the little girl. We got her on the oxygen, which is both good for her and the baby, even though the baby was unborn. It was up in the air at that time. It'd be really hard for me to call on whether they were or not going to make it.
Within a minute, paramedic Will Neely and his partner arrived.
It was quite apparent to us as we walked in the door, seeing the amount of blood loss she had, that we need to start moving very quickly on this patient.
Vicki, we're the awesome mess. We're going to take care of you.
Not only the fact that there was a possibility of losing the child, but our concern was the fact that she's lost enough blood now that she could be seriously compromised.
Another problem. Want to just turn your head a little bit here, look that way? Have you felt the
I
baby?
thought that Mom was going to die.
Okay.
Karen was taken to Seton Medical Center. On the way, the hospital was alerted about her condition and that of her unborn baby.
We have an ETA of about 5 if you notify L&D.
Okay, thanks.
On duty in the delivery room was Nurse Tina Davis.
We knew the woman was hemorrhaging, and she had had a previa. When a woman is hemorrhaging as much as she was, minutes count. You have to get the baby out as soon as possible.
Don't be too disappointed.
You don't have 5 minutes to prep the area properly.
Here we go. Dr. Nunley here. Are you having any pain? The only treatment for placenta previa in a situation where there's hemorrhage is immediate delivery.
Obstetrician Patrick Nunnally prepared to do the C-section.
Realizing that she was 5 weeks from full term, I knew that we had a very serious circumstance and that indeed it was a life-threatening situation both for Karen and her baby.
Let's go. Let's go. We got you. Okay, now I'm going to let you breathe some oxygen here. This mask, okay? What I want you to do...
She was extremely frightened, very pale, because she had lost so much blood, and looked very frightened for the baby.
Okay. You're going to feel a little bit of pressure.
She was looking into people's eyes for hope, and I think just a little support.
Tail down, please. Suction up.
The baby was in a transverse position, which made the delivery difficult.
We're going to find it here. Got pressure about... Okay, here comes baby. 100 over 50. All right. Okay. Baby's out. Okay.
1134.
Clamp. Ready for some pit? Clamp. Yeah, run the pit. Okay.
The baby was immediately examined by neonatologist James Cresswell.
When she first was delivered, the initial heart rate was approximately 80 to 100. Usual heart rate is about 120 to 160, and she was very limp and not crying. A 0 APGAR score would be given if there was no sign of life, and a 10 APGAR score would be given if the transition was as good as it could be. Her APGAR score was 2. Immediately after beginning the bag and mask ventilation, the heart rate had begun to increase up to 100 to 120, and by 60 to 90 seconds, it was up into the normal range. By that point, we felt sure that she was going to recover.
When I woke up in the recovery room and I was alive, and the first thing they said to me was that I was okay. I'd had a little baby girl, and she was doing fine.
She looks just like you, honey. Oh.
And I just went, thank you, Lord. I was just felt very blessed.
Hi, look what I brought for you. Oh, she is.
They brought Aubrey in, and I had Erica sitting next to me, and I was holding Aubrey. And it was just the most wonderful feeling. Give her a kiss.
I loved having a baby sister. I was real happy. She looked great.
Six months later, the Hoyt family finally got a chance to meet dispatcher Lori Cash.
Are you Lori? Hi. Oh, so glad to meet you. That's Erica. How are you? You brought me some flowers. So pretty. Oh, I'm so glad to meet you. So much. Hear everything you did for us. Oh.
I'd really like to thank Lori for being there for me and for being there for Erica.
Oh, I'm just so glad.
I don't know what Erica would have done if she hadn't had someone to talk to. And I think Lori just really made Erica feel secure.
Big hug.
I was glad I was there to answer the phone, and I was glad that she was intelligent enough to talk to me when Mom went unconscious. And that just makes me feel good to know that I'm that somebody and that I can pick up the phone and tell somebody how to attempt to save a life.
Such a beauty to gaze upon, with her blue jeans and halo on. Straight from heaven, I know she was sent to me.
One of the main things it did is just brought reality home real quick. The career and everything's great, but the family definitely comes first. I'm just thankful that it turned out the way it did, and Aubrey's doing fine. We're a big, happy family now.
It really does feel more precious, the family time together. You know, there could have been a chance that Aubrey might not even be here today, or I wouldn't be here. And I think that's what the song is about. She was a walking miracle, and he thanks the Lord above.
Placenta previa is a condition that can be easily diagnosed and monitored by a doctor during pregnancy. In 1990, fires claimed more than 5,000 lives. The National Fire Protection Association provides information on how you can develop a Learn Not to Burn program in your community. This series is dedicated to all the men, women, and children who know what to do in an emergency and are there when we need them most. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.